government reveals plans to help battle youth unemployment. The Green Party launched their election campaign. Labour step up attempts to win the Southampton seat. Hello and welcome to Winchester News Online. I'm Georgie Wingrove. Unemployment is set to be a key issue covered by the parties in the run-up to the general election. Olivia Martin has the details.
Unemployment figures are down across the whole country. Only 6.5% of the working population across the UK are unemployed. This figure is 3% in Winchester. But youth unemployment is sharply rising to around 750,000 across the country. During his speech at Hove yesterday, David Cameron said the Conservatives seek to abolish long-term youth unemployment and hope to fund 3 million more apprenticeships. But he wants youngsters to work for their benefits. If the party is re-elected, job seekers' allowance would be abolished for 18 to 21-year-olds and will instead be replaced with something called youth allowance. In order to get this, young people would have to carry out 30 hours of community work a week and spend 10 hours job hunting. The Lib Dems are arguing that this approach punishes young people instead of helping them, and Labour say that it doesn't help youngsters into real jobs. Labour plans to create thousands of apprenticeships if they are elected, but they will only guarantee them to young people if they get the right grades. They also promise to provide those who have been out of work for a year with a 6-month job paid for by the taxpayer. But this comes with a catch. If you refuse to work, you will lose your benefits. With the general election right around the corner, we can expect to hear more on this in the upcoming weeks. Olivia Martin, Winchester News Online.
Similar to how UKIP aimed to split the right-wing vote this May, the Green Party is set to fight with Labour for their share of the votes. Laura Harding was at the Green Party conference in London.
The Green Party have launched their campaign for the coming election in May. Party leader Natalie Bennett and single MP Caroline Lucas face a large media crowd.
Can we maintain the green surge? I think very much so. We're still seeing people are joining at the rate of something like 150 a day. It's still very much growing and continuing. And I think as focus in the election comes, that we're going to see that perhaps start to grow again.
I think the fact that the Green Party is about hope and a positive future is incredibly attractive to many people who look at the grey parties, the establishment parties, and frankly don't see much difference between them and certainly don't see much hope in the future from them.
With things like the basic income or the citizens' income, although we've been challenged on it for the same number of people that have turned against it, there are so many people who realise that this is such a great opportunity to alleviate poverty.
The Green Party is insisting that all its policies are fully costed, but we'll have to wait for the manifesto to be released for the finer details. Laura Harding, Winchester News Online, London.
Labour have stepped up their election campaign in order to secure the Southampton Itchen seat, with numerous party figures appearing in Southampton in recent weeks. Our correspondent has more.
The Southampton general election campaign heated up this week with attention switching to the Labour Party. Deputy Party leader Harriet Harman visited over the weekend, followed on Monday by the party's spokesperson on the fire service, Lynn Brown. But Brown wanted the limelight to stay firmly on Labour's Southampton Itchen candidate Rowena Davis, seen here talking to us about government cuts to frontline services.
The fire service has come under an awful lot of pressure in the last few years because of public sector cuts. So many of them have faced changes to their pensions, which they're very worried about. You know, it'd be disingenuous of me to say that if Labour comes in, there won't be any cuts, because everyone who is listening to this knows it's difficult right now and it's going to be difficult no matter what. But what I'm worried about with this government is they've delivered cuts with no leadership.
The election campaign may not have set the public imagination alight, but that's not for the want of national politicians trying to fan the flames.
While Labour appear to have been busy campaigning in the south, it seems to be a different story for the Conservatives. Ryan Hewlett reports.
This is what we have seen over the past 4 weeks. Visits every few days from different Conservative ministers travelling down to get their moment in the spotlight. But this week, there has been little sign of any action from the party. Are the Conservatives running out of steam here in the south? This recent change in Tory tactic surely begs the question, where are the Tories and what will they do next in order to try and win votes here in the south? Ryan Hewlett, Winchester News Online, Portsmouth.
Veteran Conservative councillor Frank Pearson was elected leader of Winchester City Council this week, following a row over a major development project. Henry Nixon was at the meeting.
So Councillor Pearson is now duly elected as the leader of the council.
First, why would I want to be leader? Well, in the present climate of public opinion, frankly, I think I must be mad.
The change followed an acrimonious dispute over changes to the Silverhill development in the city centre. Councillor Pearson was on the committee that the High Court ruled against last week.
Most of council are very aware I was on the planning committee that made that decision. Indeed, many people in the public gallery also know that.
Pearson beat Lib Dem councillor Kelsey Lerney, seen here, 26 votes to 24, and reinstated 2 portfolio holders from the previous cabinet. She said that the change in leadership won't be enough to restore confidence after this turbulent time.
I don't think we'll see any change at all. What we've seen within the Conservative group is a shuffling of the deck chairs, but there's no commitment to making any real change to the way the council's running, despite public demands for that to happen.
Attracting negative public attention isn't on the agenda for any local council, but a review of the Silverhill decision will be a large feature at the next meeting on March the 18th. Henry Nixon, Winchester News Online, Winchester.
For more award-winning news, sport and features, head over to winol.co.uk. Goodbye.